All right, folks, we are live, coming at you live. Everybody, good evening. My name is Matt Dillingham, one co-founder of Team in the Black, here with my lovely teammates on the panel here tonight with Max Uhas. How you doing, my friend?
What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Day. Happy second hangout of 2015. We got a lot of cool stuff to go over with you tonight.
Awesome.
So grab your notebooks.
Yeah, good idea. And we have Mr. Incognito MIA, the Godfather of Traffic, John Newton. It's good to see you and to hang out with us tonight, man. Good to have you back. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Um, Glad to be back and appreciate everybody. Well, some of you guys may or may not know my dad's been in the ICU for the last week, and so really appreciate all of everyone's thoughts and prayers. So good to be here, good to be hanging out with you guys, and looking forward to a powerful hangout as usual.
Awesome, good to hear. Yeah,
Yep.
much love vibes to your dad. And I know that's been a challenge for you the past couple weeks. So I mean, I really can't imagine what you're going through. But I mean, you're toughing it out. So we all got you back, John. Just want you to know that here. So part of the team, get strong. So with that being said, let's continue on, ladies and gentlemen. Here. So tonight, as you may have seen from our emails, hangout invites on Facebook, anywhere else you see on social media, you may have seen things about consistency or something about 21 days plus consistency and that equaling success. Okay, so what does that mean? What does it mean to you, and how is that going to help you get to where you want to be in life? Well, that's what tonight's all about. It's all about being consistent in your business, or if you're not doing a business, consistency in you achieving your trying to achieve any goals you have, be it at work, losing weight, whatever it is. Consistency is the key. And 21 days is very special because it takes about 21 days to really get in the flow, to start a new habit. As some of you watching this, a lot of people do know, and some do not now. And tonight, we're going to go over that, why that is, one of the, I guess you say, secrets to success when there isn't any secret to success. Because if you look at anyone that is successful on any level, be it, I guess you want to say a minor amount, or those who have massive success, one thing they all have in common is that they are consistent in what they do no matter what. And why are they consistent? Because of the fact that at that point, it's become a habit, it's become part of their being, it's who they are. It's and if they don't do it, they feel kind of weird. And I can share some experience of that, as we all can. We all have habits that we do that if when you don't do them, you feel off. And there's a scientific reason behind that, which I'll go into later, and that'll help you visualize what's going on when you're trying to create a new habit and when you're trying to, get rid of a new one. And the saying can be true, old habits die hard, and there's a scientific reason behind that. It has to do with your brain, the neural pathways that you have, and neurons that are firing at each other. It's almost like you could say that the habits you have, you are pretty much almost like a drug. You are addicted to it. It's what makes your habits make us or they break us. And if you can master your habits, which means you can master yourself, then you are truly free. So it's kind of a deep saying right there. I hope you guys think. So getting into this with being consistent and with 21 days, it takes about 21 days around that time to really have a habit stick to you and really keep it going. Now, you could stop at 21 days and the habit will maintain itself, but once you are at 21 days and you keep going, as long as you keep going, again, being consistent, that habit will stick with you throughout life. And here's the thing, that habit can either help you or it can break you. And unfortunately for a lot of people, what happens is we all have these negative habits that we keep doing that do not allow us to get to where we want to go in life. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you're trying to build a business online or you're trying to lose weight, whatever it is, to get to your goal, you have to have new habits, which also means that you have to become a different person. And it's something a lot of people don't realize. I didn't realize this before, and it's one of the things where people don't seem to understand. A lot of people look at hitting a goal as a destination, and it's not. It is a true journey, and anyone on here on the panel can tell you that for a fact. That getting to your goal It's not a destination. It's not like, aha, I'm there, I'm done, saying it'll be all. It's just one stop on the journey of your development of who you are, or where you're going, and really hitting your true potential. Okay? So when it comes to being consistent, what tends to happen is this. Once you've got the habit and once you're going for it, beyond the 21 days, life then starts to give you what you want. Things start to come together. It's almost like things happen by magic. How do I know this? Well, with our team and being with Empower Network and having an iPad system, I've been in Empower Network since May of 2013. I've been to every event that I've been in. We got the Vegas event coming up next week. Is it next week? It is next week, and that'll be my 7th event. I've been consistent to be at every event, and because I've been consistent with that, and we have events about every 90 days, so we're talking over a year of being committed to something and being consistent and showing up no matter what happens in my personal life, showing up no matter what happens in my business, because being at events, that's where the magic happens, that's where decisions are made, and that's what helps you propel you in your success in your business, okay? And since I've been to every event, the leaders kind of get to know me a bit more. They see me, they know me, they talk more on Facebook and everything else, and it gets help from them. Because the thing about it is that when you're consistent and what you're trying to do, people will come out and will want to help you. It's when you're not consistent that things don't happen, things fall apart, people won't help you. You kind of got to see it like this. I believe that life will help you out no matter what it is you're trying to do. And the thing about it is that when you start anything in motion, you start a new journey, you start a new goal, you make a new decision, you start things in the background that you can't see, you may not see at first, that start coming together. You can't see Mars right now, but things in life, if you can picture this, start coming together as long as you keep going, as long as you keep developing new habits. And as you're becoming consistent, you'll start to see things come into your radar. See my hands here? They're coming together, and then suddenly, boom, not that fast, but you get the point. You get to where you want to be. The problem with people, they're not consistent. They are consistent at being inconsistent, as they're in one company, and we've all had that. You got to understand that, like, when you start something, things are off your radar screen, but you got to believe it before you see it, that when you start something in motion, you start having new habits, developing new habits, you keep going, things come together, you get to where you want to be. Pretty much it. The thing is, the challenge for a lot of people is a lack of belief, but when it comes to developing a new habit, the thing about it is that there's this urge, we all have it, you try to stop something, be it smoking, whatever, and you have this huge urge to continue the old habit, to continue to do what you've been doing. Why is that? A lot of people don't realize this. I heard this on audio a couple years ago, that in your brain, I'm reading this in a new Tony Robbins book, not new, an old one of his, called Awaken the Giant Within. Great book, go get it. In your brain, any new habits that you continually do, or anything that you start forming, you have ingrained neural pathways and neurons in your mind, in your brain, okay? And the thing is, any habits that you've done for like years, you have deeply engraved neural pathways, and these neurons are huge, like really huge. And as you're doing a habit, they continually feed each other back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's being fed. So what happens is, as soon as you stop doing that habit, your neurons freak the fuck out. Basically, they go crazy. They're like, what are you doing? I need this to survive. Because basically, your brain is like a master gardener, or I guess master gardener for lack of a bad description, where anything that you don't need, your brain cuts off. It cuts off the neurons, they dead, and they go away. So what happens is you have these neurons that are really, really big, and they're really powerful because they're addicted to what you're doing, the habit that you've been maintaining. That's what it is. When you start doing it, you cut it off, they freak out, and they're like, what are you doing? And that's why you have this urge to do it again. Because what happens is, when you start a brand new habit, you have this new neural pathway starts, and it's very small. It's not very strong, it's really, really small. So the challenge is, and this is why forming new habits, like starting off at the beginning of anything new, is one of the hardest things, because you have these deeply ingrained neural pathways and neurons that are so big in size and strong, and you're starting these big new ones. I mean, so these small little new ones that don't require a lot of attention from you. They don't. They're little small ones. So what happens is through willpower and just being consistent and as you keep going, over time the big neurons, they die down. They go away. They go away. Likewise, the new neural pathways that you form, the new neurons can become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and become more stronger and deep ingrained into you. And after a while, the old ones die off. Your brain doesn't need it. You call it brain plasticity, all that stuff. So that's what happens. And the basic nutshell, keep it real simple. So what happens when you're trying to establish a new habit? Your neurons are driving you to maintain the old habit, whereas you're trying to grow the new ones, which haven't had a chance to grow in size and take over yet. Perfect example of this is me. I am the type of person that has to work out before I do anything. I've done this for like years. Okay, it's at the point now where if I don't work out before I go to work or before I do anything else for the rest of the day, I feel off. Like my words will stumble as if I don't do that now, but it's a lot more. My brain feels foggy. I just feel weird on the inside. My vibration's off. I'm like, what the heck am I doing? And I'm just off, man. It just doesn't. I can't do it. And the thing is, when I see I don't have a lot of time to work out, if I've overslept a little bit, I start freaking out, and all of a sudden my body starts like getting real excited, or not excited, like anxious, because I gotta work out. It's like the neurons in my brain are like, you gotta do this, you gotta work out, you gotta work out, you gotta work out. And if I don't do it, I'm screwed. That's a good habit to have when you don't do something and you feel weird, like completely off. However, though, when I do work out, I feel back to normal. I'm set. I'm good. The only weird thing about this habit of mine is that if I tell myself I'm not gonna work out on X day or like Sundays, I'm fine with it. I still feel a little off, but it's weird. But the next day, though, after that, I'm back in routine. I have to work out. So one example where I know for a fact if I don't do that, I feel weird and off. So consistency, 21 days, it's key to whatever you're doing. If you want to hit your goals in life, you got to be consistent. You got to do that because things start being set in motion that come out to help you get to where you want to be. And by stopping at any one point until it becomes automatic, you are literally sabotaging yourself, shooting yourself in the foot, and just not giving you the chance that you need to get the success that you deserve. So, with that being said, I'm done for the time being. Max Uhas, my friend, you are up. Take it away.
Unmuting myself. So hey guys, like literally, me and Matt just sat through like a 2-hour hangout with Chris Rushlow and Amy Starr Ellen, and it was really mind blowing. So I'm literally. So let's just put it this way, right? So for everybody, for those of you guys that are sitting here watching this, for those of you guys that are logging in, for those of you guys, I'm not even sure how many people are watching this tonight, but let's just check this out, man. Like literally, if you're using the Klotzy blog and you know about the Empower Network 21-day blogging challenge, so they, obviously because the event's coming up, they're literally doing, live webcasts every single night and everything else. But I was listening to one the other night, and one thing really hit me. Like basically, it just kind of got reiterated by Chris Rushlow, because Rushlow just said, he's like, basically once I figured out, he was going over like one of the breakthroughs that he had, and it was a pretty amazing breakthrough. And I'm not going to really get into it because if you're at the event, I'm sure he'll tell the story. So get to Vegas. But besides that, basically, what he said was pretty much what I basically made a commitment, and I got into the habit of blogging every day, and I blogged every day for 90 days. And after 90 days, I basically had my biggest week, my biggest month. I attracted the right people, and I brought the right people into my business. And that's the whole thing when it comes to blogging consistently. When it really just comes to being consistent in anything and everything, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things. One of my old mentors basically taught me this. It's like, character is not necessarily doing the right thing when everybody's watching you. It's doing the right thing when nobody's watching you, when it's only you by yourself. You know what I mean? Because anybody can just like show up and put up a bunch of stuff and talk a bunch of greatness, when they're surrounded by people. But it's like, what if all I know is this, right? Like I said, I've got some really huge, like beyond big intentions and goals for this year. And basically, in order for me to achieve those things, I basically, let's just put it this way, with discipline and habits and everything else, there's going to come a little bit of sacrifice, and it's going to suck at first, and I remember, and if you guys were on last week's hangout, I was kind of jumping on Matt like 2 weeks ago about why he wasn't blogging, and it was just a whole other thing. But anyway, what's funny is he's gotten into the habit of blogging now, and now he's like, I'm blogging on my lunch break, you know what I mean? I'm going to, I'm doing this. He's like, can I do 2 blog posts and syndicate in the next hour? But that's what I mean, though. It's about sacrifice. It's about doing what most people won't do right now, so that you can live the life that you want to do later on. So you live the life that you want to have later on. And it's basically just I saw this great thing. It's like successful people, or greatness happens when you get comfortable being uncomfortable, and it's just like you have to force yourself to be uncomfortable sometimes. If blogging necessarily isn't your thing right now, trust me, if you do it for 21 days, you'll get into the hang of it. And it's not even it's not even big, like Matt was saying about working out. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't set a New Year's resolution to like go to the gym and get in shape this year, but I know a lot of people do. That's why gyms literally, if you own a gym in January, you are going to make more money in January, like from basically from the middle of December through like January into February, just because I got a New Year's resolution and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out and I'm going to get in shape. And then by March, sometimes by February, sometimes by March, sometimes by April, dude, like 90% of the people that signed up for these, recurring memberships don't even show up. Because it sucks at first. If you haven't worked out in a long time and all of a sudden you go to the gym, it's basically, I did this post on this too, and this is kind of tie in, but it's like there are people at the gym, you know what I mean, that you see, and they're like super buff and they're working out, they're doing that, and you're like, man, I wish I could look like that person. But I guarantee you that person started out like either a little out of shape, a little overweight, or a little too skinny, or a little like, whatever, and they dedicated themselves to going to the gym, not necessarily every day, but every other day, or getting on a set routine and getting into a set habit of actually hitting the weights and doing the cardio and working out and doing whatever, to a point where they're like, all right, man, I feel good. And literally it becomes a part of who you are. You're at the gym, you're blogging, you're writing, and with habits, it's like you can have really good habits or you could have really bad habits. Some people, it's like, oh, I just ate dinner, let me eat 2 pounds of cake. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't feel good, let me eat a pound of ice cream. It's like, and then there are good habits where it's like, hey man, I got some downtime, let me read, let me do something that's going to expand myself as a person. I got 20 minutes, hell man, I can bang out a blog post real quick, or I can network with some people, or I can make a couple quick phone calls, or I can do something, and it's like, basically when you have set goals and you have set intentions and you get into the habit of basically, and here's the key to this, of being productive, not busy, of being productive. It's saying time management. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Everybody has the same amount of time. Why are certain people more successful than other people? It's like, basically, it's like you take the time to be as productive as possible. And it's like, even if you have a short window of time, I know myself, it's like when I have a very short window of time to get something done, I am streamlined, laser focused on getting whatever I need to get done in that short period of time. But when I've got a week or 2 days or 4 hours or whatever, you know what I mean? I was basically the kid that would write a 12-page report the night before it was due. I'd stay up till 3, and Matt knows what I'm talking about just by his face. I wouldn't do it like when the assignment was given 2 months ago. I was the one that'd be like, oh man, I got that report due, and then at 10 o'clock I'm asking my dad to like take me to the library because I need to get research books or something, and and of course the library wasn't open then, and this was like before the internet. We had a word processor, so luckily enough my dad had some encyclopedias that I'd get some good reference stuff from, and I'd drink coffee till 3 in the morning, and I'd write a 12-15 page paper and wake up at 6 in the morning to go to school and still be functional enough to do it. But I've learned that wasn't necessarily the most successful habit for me to have. Basically now it's like, all right, if you give me an assignment to do, I'm going to get it done right away and actually get 12 steps ahead of everybody else, so that this way I'm ahead of the game and not constantly catching up. You know, so if that all makes sense, I get really fired up when I start talking about stuff like this. But if that all makes sense, like, let's get a big hell yeah in the comment stream. But no, but basically, guys,
let's see it in the comments.
who's excited? No, but basically, you know, but really, what we're talking about here, guys, it's getting into the habit of doing. Getting into the habit of successful habits. It's disciplining yourself to do the things that you may not want to do right now, but once you start doing them, they will become a part of who you are. It will become a part of your normal routine. And I just know this is that, like, successful people have successful habits. Successful people have productive time management. Successful people have basically a checklist of things that they need to do, and they get them done. You know, and if you know that there are certain things that you need to do for your business, don't put them off till tomorrow. You know what I mean? I was just telling Matt, I was like, dude, I plan on, I got to knock out, because here's the other thing too, like, because I'm like I have a super crazy addictive personality. So I basically now I'm running 5 blog sites. Okay, like I basically went out and I bought 2 more domains yesterday. I've got, you know, my Klaatu domain, I got my main domain, I got my business domain, and then I just started off 2 brand new domains literally yesterday, set them all up, got them up and running, and I've got like content on both of those pages already. Yeah, because I'm crazy like that, but literally that's how bad I want to be successful. To me, it's like I will sacrifice sleep. I will go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning every single night, wake up at 6 every single morning, take my son to school, do what I gotta do throughout the day, and then do it all over again if I have to for the next year, if it gets me in the position to basically be a 6-figure, 7-figure earner. Because to me, the pain that I will endure right now, I will gladly thank myself for later. You know, and that's the thing. You know, it's basically as a pain is temporary. You know what I mean? Pain is temporary. You know, saying quitting is forever. And that's what you got to realize. You know, saying pain is temporary. You may have to sacrifice some stuff right now. You may have to put off some stuff. You may have to miss the party, or, you know, cancel out on a date, or miss movie night or something. But if it gets you into the right habit, it's so worth skipping. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, like, you can get into a whole other groove. You can get into a whole other, you know, amount of fun. And this breaks down, guys. And what you got to realize is that this isn't just blogging, but this is marketing. This is you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This could be like, man, I really hate writing emails. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big copywriter person. You know what I'm saying? I email my list like maybe once a week, and I set an intention. I was like, I got to email my list at least 3 times a week now. So I've got that on my thing. So I make time to do that. And guys, if you ever read any of my blog posts aren't like 50 words and a picture. You know what I mean? Like, I write 500 to 1,000 word blog posts that are insanely crazy, backlinked pictures, videos, everything, SEO done in them. They take some time, but it's a passion of mine, and I do it because let's just put it, we're all here because we have a dream, we have a passion, we have a focus. Some of us it's freedom, some of us it's money, some of us it's wealth, some of us it's taking care of the next generation or whatever. I've got a combination of all of those, and I've got a 7-figure number in my head that when I hit, I will say yay, and then let's see if we can make it 8. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I think. You know what I'm saying? But it's small steps, small steps, small steps. So if you haven't actually written a blog post yet, if you're in there, you're slacking off, or you're doing something, make time to do the things that you have to do before you can do the things that you want to do. Because trust me, if you really want to do those things, but you do all the stuff that you have to do first, you'll get the stuff you have to do first done, just so you can do the things that you want to do. You know what I mean? But if you're doing all the stuff you want to do first, the things, you know, it's a weird kind of psychological deal. But basically, just get it done. You know what I'm saying? Get it done. Get into a habit of being successful. And all I know is this, is that, like, everybody that's been doing things habitually, you know what I mean? Everybody that gets into a constant habit of doing things, like, guys, first off, it gets easier. Now, and it doesn't even get easier. It's just you get better. You know what I mean? You get better. Go back to working out. You know what I'm saying? The gym sucks at first, but once you start getting in shape, you like working out. You're like, all right, man, let me see if I can bench press 200 today. Let me see if I can bench press.
It
Huh?
becomes fun. Like,
It becomes
dude,
fun.
dude,
You challenge,
right.
you challenge yourself, and this is what I mean. It's like I have 5 blog sites up right now, and each one of them are going to get a post tonight before I go to bed. I've got 2 of them done. I've got 3 more to go. And this was during a webinar. And actually when Matt was talking, I was finishing up a post on one of mine. And you know what I was talking about? I was talking about habits. It's so crazy because it's like I was like, what am I going to write about? And then Matt starts talking. I was like, habits. That's great. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, guys. It's basically like get into the habit. Because this is all we've been talking about. Get into the habit. It's 2015 is already. I mean, we're already on the 14th day of 2015, right? It's like, have you taken the right steps necessary to set yourself up so that 2016 you're going to be in a much better place? Are you going to thank yourself next year for what you've done already this year? And that's kind of the whole thing. And I know I say that a lot, but like when I get fired up, that's what I say. So I just know this is that like 36-year-old Max thanks 23-year-old Max for taking a few steps necessary to get me in the right mindset, in the right place in my life to have set myself up. And that's what you got to ask yourself. It's like a year from now, am I going to thank myself for what I did this year? 10 years from now, am I going to thank myself for the sacrifice that I put in so that I can enjoy myself, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road? Because that's really what it's all about, just do it. That's all I'm saying. Just do it. I can ramble on about this for hours and hours on end. You know what I mean? But just do it. Just do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just get started. Just do it. Get into the habit of doing it, and eventually you're just like, man, I love it. It's great. Because you can't. And here's the other thing too. If you're sponsoring people, how are you going to tell your people to do something that you're not willing to do yourself?
Ooh, good question. You can't get people to do
You
something
can't.
you're not going to do.
You can't
No
because they're
one follows a hypocrite unless they really don't have a choice. Even then, they'll get to the point. They're like, fuck this. I'm not following this person. I'm done.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. It's like, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite to yourself. Don't be a hypocrite to your team. Don't be a hypocrite to your crew. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it so that this way, like, well, for one, like, you feel good. I don't know. Like, I feel good after I accomplish something. So to me, it's like accomplishing things on a daily basis, like, make me feel good. You know what I mean? Just sitting around doing nothing all day actually, like, kind of drives me crazy. I'm like, I didn't get anything done today. You know what I mean? Like, there's a weird kind of guilty part of my soul that's just like, you could have done something. Whereas like some days I'm like, all right, man, I'm actually like, and it's weird. Like I'll have my days where I'm like, I plan on not doing anything. Unfortunately, like I committed myself to blogging every day for the next year, so there's not going to be a day this year that I'm not doing anything. So I will be doing something, but when I'm not accomplishing that little goal, I'm going to set a couple days out of the way. It's like, I'm going to relax today. But until you get to a point where you can actually afford to relax, you shouldn't be relaxing. You should be doing something that's getting, because you run a business for yourself. You got into online marketing for a reason. You got into this for a reason. And it's like, what do you have to relax about if you're not in a position to where you can really afford to relax? Get busy. Get busy. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just going to be you shouldn't be so comfortable with being uncomfortable. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, it's like make yourself uncomfortable now so that you can actually enjoy being comfortable. But if you're sitting there going, man, I wonder how I need more money. But, oh, wait, such and such is on. You know what I mean? And you're clicking through the TV channels or you're watching something on demand when it's like, yo, you could have done 2-3 blog posts. You could have connected with somebody and they could have found, it's put your business first. You know what I mean? Put your business first because your business takes care of everything else. Your business is going to take care of you. Your business is going to take care of your family. Your business is going to take care of your kids. Your business is going to take care of your loved ones. Your business is going to take care of everything. So if you put your business first and you prioritize the things that you need to do, that you have to do for your business, and yes, it's going to suck at first, but your business will take care of you. I learned this a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain things that I hate doing, and as much as I hate doing them, I do them first. So that all the other stuff that I love doing, I can do. But yeah, take care of your business, and your business will take care of you. You know, and if you really love all these other people and you have all these other intentions, and guys, by the way, if you're in the black and you haven't done a fucking intention video, do one, because seriously, like, it focuses you. It's basically, I put an intention video on the page, not because I wanted, well, actually, I know I wanted to, but I wanted to literally, like, hands down, this is my commitment to the team. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I didn't say I was going to do that. Oh, no, wait. I got your intention video. This is what we're going to, you said this. It's basically, it's my hand-stamped, hand-sealed, signed, delivered, commitment to the team and what our intention is for the team. So you should do one for yourself, literally as a contract. It's kind of like you can write some goals, but literally, if you do an intention video, it's like, this is my commitment to myself. Check it out. I know a couple of you, I wasn't in Empower, and I was, when they had you guys do the letters, you know what I mean, the letters to yourself, and I know Matt got one back, but I know I've seen a couple people, they're like, I just got my letter back, from whatever event over a year ago. And what's funny is I'm sure that was a really crazy letter to read, in a sense, because it's like, this was me a year ago, and this is me now. And that's the thing. It's like, when you're taking constant steps and you're taking constant action, and you've got habits, and you're getting into the habits of doing the right things, guys, you grow. You know what I mean? You realize just how far you develop and you grow and you advance as a person to get to a point where you're just like, holy crap, man, I don't even recognize who I was last year. That weak, whiny, pissy, moaning, complaining, oh, everybody, and then you're like, oh, this year you're like, damn, I'm a badass. You know what I mean? But I think everybody has to go through that. But you get through that through habits. It's like boot camp. Matt's a Marine. You go through boot camp, man. They throw you on. My brother's a Marine. They throw you on Paris Island, and you're a piece of crap. You have
no idea what it's like to be treated like shit for 3 months, be yelled by everybody and their mother, and you're like, whoa, did that really suck that bad?
Yeah. But then when you get out, you're like I'm the baddest man in the world.
You're like, everyone's like, oh, I'm the bomb, but you gotta be humble about that, because
you gotta be humble about it, but you earned it. And there's that silent pride about it, and trust me. And what's crazy about that though is that 3 months of boot camp. What can change, what can transition, what can happen mentally, physically, spiritually, just soulfully, willfully, your whole energy, your whole aura, your whole mindset. Dude, 3 months isn't that long. And trust me, it will be. I'm really bad with calendar stuff. So January, February, March. So like middle of March, right? April. It's going to happen anyway. But you got to ask yourself, are you going to be the same person 3-4 months from now, or are you going to be like a different person? Are you going to be a leader, or are you going to be sitting there watching? Because I don't know about you guys, man. I just got really tired of watching everybody. It's like, oh, such and such made a bunch of money. Yay, fuck them. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. How'd you do it? Well, I did everything that I was supposed to do on a consistent thing. I blogged daily. I did videos. I contacted people, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, that's all you did? What'd you do? Oh, man, I leveled up on that video game. That was pretty cool. Hey, I watched the entire season. I watched all 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then I went back and I watched all of SOA. And did you hear what happened to Jackson? It was crazy, And it's just like, listen, you have TV and TiVo and on demand for a reason. They'll be there later. You're not missing anything. You know what I mean? As much as I love Breaking Bad, like I stopped. There are certain shows I just don't watch. I literally canceled my premium cable for a reason, because I was like, I don't even want the temptation to get back into some of these shows that are gonna. Well, all my good shows got canceled, except for Game of Thrones, which is gonna be starting soon. But I'm not gonna be watching it. You know what I'm saying? Walking Dead's gonna be starting soon. I'm not gonna be watching it unless I'm blogging about Walking Dead. I might start a Walking Dead blog, and I guarantee I'll get 1,000 fucking subscribers off of that thing, because I will blog daily about Walking Dead. I'll be like, Daryl's awesome. Check out Rick. This is da-da-da-da. What do you think about Michonne? So that's what I'm saying. There's so many niches. There's so many different angles. There's so many avenues that you can go after, but you have to take action. You have to get busy, and you got to do it. Does that make sense? So just get into the habit of being consistent. Get into the habit of daily action, and the rewards and everything else will start rolling in the right direction. Max, you asked. I'm going to go put my son to bed. I'll be right back.
Yo, True words, speaking spoken from a real guy. So, thanks, Max.
Yeah,
John, that was
that was
good.
awesome. That was cool.
John, I will let you take it away, my friend. Go at it. Share the world with what needs to be heard, what needs to be shared. Let people know your views, and I mean, not to call you out. I mean, you have a lot more years experience on us, and I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say and your views and what you've seen and about this topic, what we're talking about tonight, and how it can help people. Take it away.
Cool. So, real quick, just there was a question from Gary. So, Gary, I'll make sure that I ask Max when he gets back. But anyway, let me. So, so Matt and Max have kind of approached it from from the perspective of here's what you need to do to be successful. Let me approach it from a different perspective and kind of tell you guys a little bit about me that you probably don't know. My wife and I have built 2 houses ourselves, and I'm talking about every single nail, every single roof tile, every single piece of plywood, the finishes, the wood trim, everything on the inside. And what does that have to do with this? Well, and we're not talking about small houses. These are very large houses. The house that we're in today took us nearly 2 years to build. And here's the deal. We didn't know, and in fact, my wife, I think, thought I was absolutely crazy when I said I wanted to build this house. But we didn't know how long it was going to take or exactly how we were going to do it every single day or whatever it was. But what we did was we started with an outcome. We said, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen over here. This is what we want to achieve. And so that's really what these guys are talking about, is that it may be drudgery, it may be a lot of work, but if you start with the right outcome in mind, then everything that goes along with it is going to work just fine, right? So I think that that's really what happens to a lot of people, is that they don't start with the right kind of outcome in mind. They just say, well, I've got to do a blog post, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, but they're not doing it with a goal or with an outcome in mind. And so what I really encourage you guys to do is to start with the right kind of outcome in mind. Sit down and reverse engineer it. We've talked about reverse engineering a lot, right? So if you start with the right kind of outcome, then you kind of backtrack with all of the steps that it takes to be able to get there. And you start with high-level tasks, and then you kind of move down from there, right? So everything that we talk about here ultimately is to achieve some kind of outcome, in a lot of cases, monetary outcome. But the reality is that I think that people get so focused on monetary outcomes that they forget about all of the other good things that need to be accomplished and the outcomes that you really want to achieve along the way. And that's, a couple of those are you want to help other people achieve their goals. You want to help train people. You want to help lift people up. You want to help inspire people, right? So those are all of the positive things that you want to try and accomplish. And so I guess my message is that I want you guys to start thinking about the right kinds of outcomes and begin to kind of backtrack from there, so that when you start with your blog posts, when you start doing the everyday things, that they're going to make much more sense to you as to why you're trying to do those. So to kind of come full circle, when we were building these houses, we'd be out here when it was 10 below. It would be snowing. We'd have to come out to the house, and in the wintertime, we'd have to frickin' shovel the plywood off every single day, every time it snowed. It got to be such a pain in the butt to do some of this stuff, right? but ultimately, this is what we ended up with. It's beautiful. It's nicer than 99.5% of the people out there, and we're proud of that. And that's what you should be in setting your intentions and setting your outcomes for what you're trying to accomplish on a daily basis, right? You should be proud of what you want to achieve, of what that outcome looks like. And so make sure that you've got the right kind of focus and the right kinds of goals in mind, right? The other thing is that I think a lot of people think about this. So Max was talking about how, or actually Matt was talking about how you kind of have to expand the neurons and how your brain thinks about and processes certain things, right? So I think what happens is that people aren't committed to the grind, and we've talked about that before. And it is a grind, no matter what it is, right? So you just admit to yourself today that what you have to do today is just part of the process. And I think about I had a chance to see Marcus Luttrell speak. He was the Navy SEAL that was a member of the team that got shot up in Afghanistan, and he wrote the book Lone Survivor. So I saw him speak once, and basically he was talking about how he got so shot up, all of his basically his clothes were off, other than his underwear. He couldn't walk, right? But he was alive, and so he couldn't walk. He was trying to figure out, okay, I've got to get out of this where I'm at today, or I'm going to be dead. So he talked a lot about how he did that, and the thing that he started off with was he basically reached out, drew a line in the dirt, and said, okay, I'm going to crawl to that line. I'm going to cross that line. And when I cross that line, I'm going to draw another line. And I'm going to keep crossing those lines and crossing those lines and crossing those lines until I can get someplace. He didn't know where he was going to go. He didn't know exactly what was going to happen when he got there, but he kept doing it. And so, I talk to a lot of people about, man, you have no clue what hard is, right? You have no clue what difficult is. So if you're sitting out there going, man, I can't write blogs, I can't do videos, I can't, I've been working a lot on essentially what are solo ads and some new traffic methods. And I told these guys today, it's hard. You don't realize how much stuff goes into advertising, basically. But I had to sit down this morning and I had to think about subject lines, right? And so, when you first start, it's hard. It's difficult. It's drudgery, right? But then what I did was I went to some subject lines of a copywriter that I've been following a lot, and I started looking at his subject lines, and they were fun. And so that's what I did was I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to make this fun. I'm going to start writing just stuff. It didn't have to make sense. It didn't have to be humorous, funny, nutty, whatever it was. I just started writing it down. And eventually, within about 20 minutes, I had 30 subject lines that I could use in emails that were actually pretty good, right? So you have to get started on this stuff, and you have to do it, and you have to commit to it, because I know that by doing the things that I'm doing today, I'm going to accomplish the outcome that I've set for myself for this year. And actually, I've set an outcome for myself for this year, but the outcome starts this month. I set an outcome for myself about 60 days ago. And I'm pretty confident I'm going to achieve that. Why? Because I committed to it. And that's really what this is all about, is you have to commit to doing those things so that you can achieve the types of things that you want to have in your life. If you want to have nice things, I've got a lot of nice things in my life. We've accomplished a lot as a family. My wife and I have accomplished a lot as a married couple. We've got 3 great kids who are highly successful and doing really well in their careers. And the reason for that is that we engage them as young children to understand the importance. Did I lose you guys? Oh, there we go.
You're still good, man. We see you. We hear you.
I had a freeze frame there for a second.
It happens. What happens
It
when
was a
Max
brain freeze. So the point is that you can do anything. You can accomplish anything. And I believe that I will be working pretty much till the day I die, because I like it, right? People think I'm crazy, but you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy accomplishing things in my life. And so I don't want you guys to be focused on the drudgery. I want you guys to be focused on the end goal, on what that outcome looks like. Because believe me, there are great things out there that you can achieve. All you have to do is set your mind to it, right? So a couple of things. If you're not part of our team, then you need to join now, because I guarantee you we have incredible people in this team that can help you accomplish your goals and your dreams. I believe in people. I know that Matt and I know that Max are going to achieve their goals that they want in their lives. I know that they will, because they're committed to them and they understand what it takes and they understand what they want to do and where they want to be within whatever the time frame is that they've set for themselves. They will get there. There are other people on our team that I've talked to who are doing it. They're focused. They're ready to do it. They may not know exactly how they're going to get there, but they're going to do it. I believe in all of you guys, and I believe in the goodness of people to be able to accomplish the dreams that they set out for themselves. So don't believe that you can't do something. Believe that you can do something. And so that's kind of my message for tonight. One thing I want to just to mention in closing is that my dad is he'll be 88 years old in March, hopefully, if he makes it that long. That's an incredible life, and I know that he's had a very full life. He's been able to do some things in his life that would make your head spin, right? But here's the thing. I can remember. I feel like today I can remember my dad as a young child, being upset at me or spanking me or whatever it was. It seems like it was just yesterday. And so I encourage you guys, don't wait. There's no better time than now to get started and make a commitment to make your outcomes real. Because believe me, time goes by so fast. I remember my kids when we were building our first house, our 2 older kids, they were 3 years old and 2 years old, out there running around, walking around on roof trusses. Our neighbors thought we were crazy. These days we probably get turned into child abuse services or whatever. But But I can remember those days so vividly, and it seems like they were just yesterday, but they aren't, right? So you need to get started today. Make a commitment. Don't waste any more time. Life is fleeting. It goes by in an instant. And so I want you guys to commit to that, make it happen. If you're not part of our team, get in and become a part of our community and a part of our movement today. But whatever it is, whatever you've got, commit to your dreams, make them happen, decide what your outcomes are going to be, and go after them. And with that, I'll turn it over to you guys.
All right, real quick before we end the night, we got a question from Gary. Max, this is for you. Gary asked about, are you putting different content on all 5 blogs, or the niche or niche blogs?
Yup, each one. All right, so this is the mistake that I made when I first started blogging, and I was discussing this with Matt earlier. I blog about some of the most random stuff ever, right? Like, I pretty much blog about whatever I'm feeling. And my blogs can go from why I love my kids to how to smoke a brisket on a smoker, to I hate sitting in traffic, to, oh, by the way, iPass 2 is pretty cool. You know what I mean? And this is why you need to join Empower Network. And that's basically what my main blog consists of. Here, I'm going to actually, and if you guys want to look, I'm going to post, I don't know if I can get it to do it. But I'm going to put here, Toolbox Hangout. Let's see if I can do it. Like, I'll put the link to my site. I don't know. I think my site's pretty awesome, but because I'm really proud of it because it took me forever to do it.
Let's see it in the comments.
See it in the comments, son. Oh, yeah, I should just do it there. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to do that. So anyway, but yeah, basically, like, I've come to realize. Am I stopped? Am I frozen? Are we good? Oh, we stopped. No, we're back. Okay, cool.
You're good. Keep going.
All right. Got it. So basically, here, hold on. I'm gonna put it in the comments because if you guys want to go, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But basically, I just because it took me a while to figure out, because everybody says that like the riches are in the niches, right? Like get in the niches. And I am random as all hell, and I connect with a lot of people. It's in there. So I connect with a lot of people, but I connect with a lot of different people. And what I've come to find out, basically, I think I'm just repeating myself now, but is that literally it's like the riches are in the niches. So I've got I bought SmashYourGoals.com yesterday, and that whole site is going to be dedicated to setting and hitting goals, like a literal step-by-step what you need to do to basically get your head right. What you need to do, like basically everything that we talked, being consistent, setting small goals, midterm goals, long-term goals, everything. Like that's pretty much what that whole site is going to be about. And then I bought another site called louddad.com. And it's literally louddad.com, all one word, all spelled out. And I've got 2 posts up on there already. And basically it's just going to be like what it's like to be a father. You know what I mean? Because I don't know about you guys, but I've never been a father before I had kids. And I just know this, is that basically there are a lot of what actually inspired me to do that was Rob, who's not on because he's doing some other stuff. But Rob did a video a couple months, maybe about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and he ranked it, and it was basically how to soothe a screaming kid, or how to calm down a screaming child, or how to basically how to put your kid to bed if they're upset. Then he's like, dude, I got 200 hits on that video already in like 2 days. And I'm sitting there going, that's like ultimate niche right there. Like there are plenty of parents out there looking for, ways, and it's just a great way to connect. And like this gives me basically, and here's the thing, dude, you can get, if you have a hosting site already, you can buy a domain for anywhere from 99 cents to like $10, $13 for an entire year, and it's worth it to have it. Because literally, like with the Kolatu system, and I know they're talking about like basically making it available to pretty much roll over, or like basically, how the old Empower, like you had like 5-10 different websites that they gave you, whatever. They're saying that once it's out of beta, they'll be able to basically boost it up so that you can have different sites from your Kolatu blog. But up until then, like they're not going to have it. Now, like basically, I pretty much learned WordPress um, in the last couple months, and I've got it down. And WordPress sucks to learn, but like I just liked it. But I like the options of all the creativity of it. So I did a lot of WordPress stuff, and I've learned how to rank with WordPress as well. So like my thing is this is like I still have so like yeah literally I've got like the blog for my like offline business like because basically like I hated the website. So once I figured out WordPress, I was like I can just create a blog site for my business and rant about my business, which is great because I like to go on tangents, as you can tell. Um, so yeah, so I've got like my main business, I've got like my other business, and then I've got like three other, pretty much the other three, really four, are just like going to be way more targeted towards one specific niche, and they're all just kind of going to bounce off like my main page to all the other ones. And what's cool is because I now have like some authority with my main site. It's not Google, it's not it's not Huffington Post, but I get some traffic. I've had 3,000-4,000 hits to my blog in let's say 4 or 5 months, which isn't bad. That's pretty awesome considering it's like a new blog and I didn't really know what I was doing when I first started doing it, and I only really learned SEO like maybe 2-3 months ago. But I can basically backlink and connect everything now, which is awesome. So it's basically it's gonna feed, it's gonna juice up my other blogs. It's going to add some nice traffic to my other blogs, and at the same time, it's like I know how to promote and I know how to market now. And and any of you guys, if you're in Empower and you know this already, it's like when you first start and you start blogging and you hear what do I blog about? I don't know, blog about whatever you want. That's what they tell you, right? And yeah, you should blog about whatever you want, but it's how do you format your blog and how do you do all this other stuff? And it's like in the so basically like I love my first site because it went from like absolute garbage to like what it is now, and I just like this is what you can do in a couple months of just like work. But everything else is going to be like completely niche, to answer your question. And literally, if you're going to do niche, like I know Amy started CrossFit Junkie, right? And it's a total niche blog. It's CrossFitJunkie.com or TheCrossFitJunkie.com, and it's a total niche blog targeting. And it's not even so much targeting; it's just her blogging about CrossFit and how she loves CrossFit and all this other stuff. And it's actually ranking. Like it's on the first page of Google if you Google like CrossFit or basically. But it's in there, and so people are looking up CrossFit stuff and they're seeing her blog. And then there's the little tab on the side that says, hey, I make money talking about the things that I love. And not everybody's going to opt in, but hell, if I'm a big CrossFit fan and I love CrossFit and I love talking about CrossFit, and here's this chick who's basically got a blog talking about how much she loves CrossFit and she's making money blogging about CrossFit, why can't I run a CrossFit blog? You know what I mean? So, and that's where the whole niche thing is, and it's like you got to figure out what your passion is, and you got to figure out what you're really, really. Basically, it's not even so much like your passion, but what you're knowledgeable about and what you can talk about with somebody. I've got friends of mine that I'm like, dude, all you do is talk sports all day long. Hold on for 1 second. I gotta shush some children up real quick. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, just got lay the hammer down. So No, but basically, it's like I've got friends of mine that can literally talk sports all day long, or they can talk about music all day long, or they can talk about, what I mean? Like you just meet those people where it's like you're just so passionate about what you do, and it's like, why don't you have a blog? Because you can make money from just literally this whole entire conversation that we just had. If you just put this into a typed out format and said, this is why I think this band is great, this is why I think this band sucks, this is why this is the greatest album ever, this is why this guy should be, whatever. There are going to be people that agree or disagree or just, kind of just wanted to do some research and find your blog and go, holy crap, man, this person makes money doing this? How? So that's the powerful thing about going for niches. And it's about, and this is why a blog really, like a well-formatted, a well-structured blog. Because and this is the other thing, guys, and like this is why I've been really like franking out blogs, because I know this is like when I visit somebody's website, and they've only got 2 posts up there, and one of them is about their business, and the other one is about Join Now, but there's no background information about them. Next, I'll go back to the Google search. You know what I mean? Because it's not that appealing to me. There's no personality to it. There's no life to it. Whereas like if you can get and literally it's like what John was just saying, dude. Like, see, what's great is if John just literally took what he just said and his closing statement is like, life is fleeting, this and this and that. I remember this. That's a hell of a blog post right there. And if I was reading that, I'd be like, damn, dude, that's a real guy. Let me find out a little bit more about him. I like him. Yo, what's your business? Because that's how people connect, and that's what you gotta realize. You know what I mean? It's like you got spammers and spammers and spammers. Hey, join my, give me $35 and you can make $1 million. But meanwhile, I'm posting in chat groups, like, or like bad Facebook groups where everybody else just spams their link. It's like that shit doesn't work because there's no personal connection. If you, I don't know, man. I've been doing a lot of research on like, and not even so much research, but just like I backwards engineer everybody. If you're successful, I want to know why. What did you do? What steps did you take? How did you do it? And for the most part, the people that got rich and in power, the people that made millions of dollars and in power, income disclaimer, great. Okay, so anyway, they blogged, but they didn't just blog about the business. They blogged about what the business allowed them to do, the freedom that it gave them. You know what I mean? Like why they feel so much better since they've joined this. The great book that they just read. You know what I mean? Hey man, I just took my daughter out and I did this and this and that, and because I do this and because I work at home or because I run my own business, I'm allowed to do stuff like that. And there are plenty of people out there that don't have that ability that go, shit man, that sounds pretty cool. I want to do that. How do you do? And we have something else. Oh, you're an engineer, you're a Marine, you like computers, you like, yoga pants. I mean, like, whatever. I have something in common with you. Let's talk. Hey man, you seem pretty cool. And that's how friendships are made. And that's the whole thing. It's like they have to like you before they join you. If you only talk money, you're going to attract some really weird people to your business. Hey man, you can make $1 million. And let's just say they don't. Now you're a scumbag. And now they don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's like there's a thing with authenticity. There's a thing with being transparent. There's a thing, and that's the great thing about a blog, dude. I mean, like, oh man, I like that's a great thing about a blog. It's so transparent. You have to be real, because if you aren't willing to like let loose, if you aren't really willing to like pour your soul out onto a page so that somebody can actually feel the emotion that you have, whether it's joy, whether it's pain, whether it's agony, whether it's just a great exhilaration, the person reading it should be able to just go, man, that's awesome. I want to share this. Not only do I want to share this, but I want to contact this person and let them know, hey, man, that was a great post. Thanks. And that's kind of the whole thing. It's like people that get successful online, because it's such a virtual world. I mean, I'm talking to you guys through a computer screen, right? I could have my pants off right now. You don't know. I don't, but I do. You know what I mean? But I don't. Like I have my pants on. But you don't know. You know what I'm saying? But there's a thing with transparency that it's like when you actually have a good blog, when you actually like can communicate with people, like you're gonna find people that connect with you, and it makes you a real person. And that's the thing. You know what I mean? The crappy greatness about old school MLMs was that you had to stand there in front of people. You had to meet people. You had to shake hands. They had to, shake the hand. Here, smell my breath. This is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real person, and I'm gonna sit here for 4 hours and nail you with a sales pitch until you finally break down and buy. Whereas like with this, listen, if you don't catch their attention literally in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, if you can't keep them on, because it's just one post about make $1 million, or like, hey, let me talk about all the other successful people. It's like if there's no real connection, guess what? They're just gonna leave and research other people. But it's like if they feel that connection with you, they're gonna want to connect. You know what I mean? They're gonna want to connect. And I just know this, right? My old boss, one of my old mentors, and I mean, this is one of the things I learned doing door-to-door sales, right? You want them to go home and talk about you. Be the person that whether they buy or they don't, you want them to go home and talk about you. That's how great your attitude was. That's how great your story was. That's how great your presentation was. That's how great your demo, just whatever. You do something that makes them go, whoa. So what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, guys. This is like I got a whole lot of weird screwball mentality, like quotes for this year. But there is no box. Okay, there is no box. The box is gone. The box is gone. There is no box. Okay, stop trying to think outside the box and just realize there is no box. You can be whoever you want. You can say whatever you want. Be honest about it. But like literally, like nobody knows you. They don't know anything about you unless you put it out there. So what you put out there, make sure it's heartfelt. Make sure it's legit. Make sure it's, you know, and if you're going with niche stuff, make sure it has something to do with your niche. You know, make sure it's got something that's going to connect with somebody in your niche. Make sure it's something that somebody's going to feel, and they're going to go, man, that's awesome. I'm going to subscribe to this person's blog. I'm going to get on their list. I want to see some more stuff from this person because, man, Matt's a cool guy. John's a cool guy. That guy, Max, man, he's kind of weird, but he's funny. You know, he's kind of funny. He does some weird stuff, and I know this. Not everybody likes me. I don't expect everybody to like me. I got over that a long time ago. My thing is this: you're gonna talk about me. Win, lose, draw. You like me, you don't like me. You're gonna talk about me. Man, that guy's a dick. Yes, he is. That guy's awesome. Yes, he is. But you know that? As long as you're talking about me, listen. Spell the name right. That's all I care about. Spell the name right. So just realize this. There is no box. When it comes to your marketing, when it comes to your blogging, you can do what everybody else does. I was going on a rant a couple, it could have been a week or two ago where I was like, you know what I'm not blogging about? The best motivational quotes. You know what I mean? You know what I'm not blogging about? You know, I forget even what I was saying, but like, because basically I look at everybody else's blog, because if you're in this 21-day challenge, you see what everybody else is blogging. The 2 greatest things that ever affected my life. And I've done it. Listen, you know, I'm guilty. I've done it. But you know what I'm not doing anymore? The 2 greatest things. And actually, I lie, because I actually just did that post the other day. But it was part of the thing, and I'm not sure if I have to follow the guidelines of whatever. So once I'm done with that 21-day thing, but it's like you don't want to just do the generic post. You know, you don't want, and this is why, you know, let me tell you about why I joined Empower. It's a really great company, and they offer a great comp plan, and if you go all in and you get an all-in sale, you can make $3,000, and it's really cool. Would that get you excited? No. Would you listen to that person? No. You know, would you even sit through that video? No. You'd go find somebody that was fired up. You go find somebody that was excited. You go find somebody that was passionate about what they're doing. So that's the whole thing. Make sure that, you know, leave an impression, and that's what a blog is. Your blog is your impression to the world. You know, it's literally, this is like your first impression. And if you have a good blog and you've got some great content on there, and it could be about anything, because here's the thing. You're not going to get everybody to buy from you. So stop worrying about the people that may or may not like your blog. Worry about the people. Don't even worry about it. Just focus on targeting one specific niche, because you're not going to hire or recruit or sign up everybody. Okay? Some people just aren't going to like you. That's fine. Some people are going to go sign up with other people. That's fine. And you know what? Some people aren't going to be interested in your offer, and that's fine. You know what? They may know somebody that is. They may know somebody that might like your offer. You know, man, I read this great blog. This guy's pretty cool. Hey, man, you want to check that out? Click share. Click share. Click share. Syndication. Click share. You know what's even better, man? Somebody that even hates. Hey, man, this guy's full of it. Let me share this post with you. Oh, great. Yeah, send my post out. That's cool. Let me get 300 hits to my site because of something I said that pissed somebody off. Even better. That's fine. If I'm getting traffic like that, I guarantee you somebody will be like, hey, man, that guy's right. The rest of you guys are stupid. So that's the great thing, man. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. So anyway, yeah. So go niche. Yes, the answer is yes. Are they niche blogs? The answer is yes. Going back on mute.
So,
Hey,
50 minutes later, it's niche. This yes.
Hey, Matty, before you close out, real quick,
Yeah.
just follow up on what Max was saying. there was a really great idea, and I just want to pass this along to you guys. Some of you guys may have seen it, but there's a guy that I follow as a friend. His name is Chris Brendamore, and his idea for his 21-day blog challenge basically was he was gonna do a 21-day RV trip across the nation, basically, from the East Coast to the West Coast down to, I forget where he was going. And I thought that was great because the thing is he's trying to attract a certain type of person as his target market, number one, and number two, it gave him lots of great content. He could do the research. He could basically lay out a 21-day trip across the country and back, and I thought that was a great idea. So if you guys are looking for an idea or ideas or a way to kind of come up with some topics or things that you want to write about, I thought that was a great idea. So think about it. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that you could write about that would be 21 days to X, 21 days in Europe, 21 days, wherever. So anyway, that's another great idea, and obviously, just like Max was talking about, would be if you're talking about travel or RV travel or motorcycle travel or whatever you're into, those would be great niche blogs. So anyway, that's it. Maddie, take us home.
All right, cool. All right, folks, that's all we got for tonight. Thanks for joining us. And look, if you're a person who's on this watching this here, you've heard John say this tonight, you've heard Max say this. We are a unique group of individuals, and we're going places. We're gonna go somewhere, and we would like you to join us. But whether you do or you don't, that's okay, because we're still gonna go where we want to go. This is our team, and our vision for our team is to have everyone having success, getting to where they want to be. So what does that mean to you? Okay, what it means is this. I know what you want. You're thinking, no, you don't. You don't know who I am. I may not know who you are, but I know what you want. What you want is change. That's what I want. That's what Max wants. What John wants. What everyone else in the world, the majority of people in this world want. All you want is change. I may not know what you want specifically, but you want something different. If you did want anything different, you wouldn't be still watching this right now to this point about an hour and 50 minutes into this. So tonight, I'm telling you this right now. This is our team. We're called Team in the Black for a reason. Why? Because we teach people how to have a profitable business online, get their business in the black, to get their life in the black. And the thing is, we can help you bridge the gap from having a profitable business online to help you have success in other areas. Because the way life works is this. If you change in one area of your life, it affects everything else. So to become better as a person with the business online, we can help you with other areas of your life. Basically, giving you what you want, which is change. In order to do that, you got to join our team. Now, below here, there's a button, kind of looks yellow, orange, gold. It says, get in the black now. Click that button, get on the next page, join our team, run with us, get your business in the black, get your life in the black, and let's make 2015 a kick-ass year for us. Meet us in Vegas next week. Click the button below to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Good night.